Well, LeBron is going to tell us a lot about that because he can sign an extension starting in August, and if he does, that's great. If he doesn't, are the Lakers on the clock? We'll see. Everything I've been told is that LeBron would like to remain with the Lakers. Anthony Davis is still there. At some point, Russ's deal comes off the books. You can start retooling the roster around him so that it looks more like the roster that won the championship in 2020, and then they voluntarily dismantled it for reasons that are still unclear and baffling to me. But yeah, I mean, look, the West is loaded. It is what it is. And we always talk about the Lakers because they're the Lakers. Other than this Kyrie wild card, it's this idea that they can sort of magic up a third star or whatever is just not plausible. And it's going to be like last year when it's Avery Bradley, Wayne Ellington, Kent Bazemore, Malik Monk. We'll see who hits. I mean, that's their reality.
And that's why they were the one team that was willing to do a sign and trade with the Nets for Kyrie Irving, as Adrian reported, right? Because they were the one team that was in a desperate enough situation that they had to do it. That was why they were the one team that would.
I think that's what gets me. The fact that they're on a desperation plane at this point, when now all the rest of the NBA can see. So it's not as if they're going to like hoodwink some franchise and get somebody great. So is there any path forward for these Lakers, as you realistically see it, for them to be at least even a top 4 team?
The path forward is, as Zach said, to wait. They have to get through this season with Russell Westbrook on the team.
Okay, so wait till he's gone.
Well, or turn him into something maybe at the deadline if something comes available. But they need something like this Kyrie Irving situation to come to fruition, right? Mm-hmm. Something that comes aboard out of nowhere where they can use that Russell Westbrook expiring contract to upgrade the roster.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they have to wait till he comes off the books and maybe LeBron James doesn't extend, gets a free agency. They can maneuver the salary cap then. But there's not a quick fix. There's not something you could look at and say today and say, here's how the Lakers could get from a borderline play-in team, maybe they get into the top 6 to being a top 4 team, short of something like, Kyrie Irving falling out of the sky and landing on their team, which there's just not another option like that, which again is why, as Adrian reported, they were the one team that was willing to do this because they didn't have much to trade and they had no reason not to take the risk.
Wow.
They have two of the top 10 players in the NBA, though. I mean, potentially they have 2 of the top 10 players in the NBA. If Russell Westbrook can find some niche role and buy into it, and they find a piece or 2 around, it's no denying, is LeBron James one of the top 10 players in the NBA?
If he's
Anthony
healthy.
Davis, is Anthony Davis, if he's healthy, obviously if he's healthy,
sure.
Is he one of the top 10 players in the NBA?
They're both,
so you've got 2 pieces
there,
that can lead you to a championship. Can Russell Westbrook be productive? Who knows? I mean, you guys have strong opinions on it. That's Darvin Ham's job, is to get him to buy into a role, all right, and embrace that role and champion a role that adds to winning. And then, like you guys said, you guys know better in terms of the money, but can you find 1 or 2 pieces that complement him? They did it with Caruso. They did it with that team that won a championship. Can they do that? It's possible if those 2 guys stay healthy and Russ buys into a role and champions a role that's not maybe the role he wants.
That graphic that just showed on the screen there with Dwight Howard, Carmelo, and Avery Bradley as the notable unrestricted free agents on the roster, that sums up where the Lakers are at because they have to go shopping in the bargain bin to sign guys on minimum contracts to fill out this roster for 8, 9, 10 spots. It's just very hard to win when 2/3 of your team is on minimum contracts.
Yeah,
we saw that last year with the Lakers.
And we learned last year, signing a bunch of guys who are 30 years and older, not going to work. We're going to see who they're going to try to find this year.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.